Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to the best of the 757 Community Talk Show. And we're about to go in, my friend, with the one and only special guest today is a young lady who's running for the office of the school board in Virginia Beach. And her name is Shannon Kendrick. How you doing today?
Hey there, how you doing, Captain
I'm
85?
I'm doing great. I'm, so excited. I'm so excited that you're here. I get, as they say, I get goosebumps every time I see you.
Oh my goodness.
you
Well,
know,
it's great to
it's
be on your show again. It's been some time.
yeah, it's like it's like being in Hollywood when I see you. You know,
Well, I'm a Cali girl, so there you go.
yes. So I want to, say a little bit about you, but I, always like to try to get the candidate or the people that comes on to talk about themselves because it's more important to be accurate with information,
Okay.
when speaking to somebody. I've been knowing you for years. I mean, your resume is too long for me to try to remember it all. And for me to write it all down, it's just that I know that you are a very accomplished young lady. You always set goals and you always reach those goals. And knowing that, you started your own business, you've been working in politics and, travel around the world. Like I said, your resume is too much for me to try to talk about, but you can sum it all up in about an hour and it'll take me
Oh,
three. It'll take me three. but
not an
but
hour, my goodness.
yeah, but for the people that don't know you, I know how hard you work, and we've been on different paths in the area of Virginia Beach, and I was excited when you said you was uh, when you mentioned the area that you was in and what you was trying to do for the Betty F. Williams district and all the things that you're trying to do for the young people in that area. Uh, because my kids graduated. I had uh, five kids to go through Betty F. Williams, and it's the things I have done in the past at Betty F. Williams for the youth as well. So it kind of like to me when you're running for that position, I know that you're sincere and you will
Mm,
put much effort in trying to make sure that that district and area get the things they need. So, but
yes.
with no further ado, I want to let you talk and tell people about yourself and then your campaign.
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. And thank you for being my friend for years. I'd have to say we've known each other for well over a decade.
Yeah.
Time really flies, especially when you're trying to make a difference with your life and your sphere of influence. And Henderson, you so much in the community with the NAACP. I believe you worked with APAC for a little bit.
Mhm.
You've just done a lot of things to really help advance the community, especially the Black community in Virginia Beach. And it is not lost on me how active you have been with trying to make a difference and elevating um, the people's voices and the needs of our community. So I just commend you for hitting that pavement all these years and you're still going. And it's just good to see. It's great to see. Myself,
Mhm.
I came to Hampton Roads in 2008. I came from, I'm from California originally. Both my parents were in the Air Force. My mom's a Desert Storm veteran. 20 years she served our nation. Dad, assistant fire chief. I'm first generation college student, college graduate. Put myself through school, went to Oral Roberts University, felt a call in my life after teaching Sunday school for some time at church. And I actually wanted to be a teacher.
Mhm.
I've always been a teacher. I taught the neighborhood, started clubs. I've always been involved in government. When it's in you, it's just in you. It just comes out. But didn't know how I'd pay for a college that was $30,000 a year. But went to Oklahoma anyway. lived there for 3 years, got ordained as a minister. Finally said, you know what, God, this is it. If I'm going to go, I need to go now. I've been here for 3 years. And so I did what I knew to do, got into school, ended up becoming president of the Honor Society on the campus, did a lot of work nationwide with government, DC, and all over the place. And after that, I got my degree in government pre-law and then wanted to come to Regent University for my law degree. Came here. I ended up working for the Robertson School of Government because I had tuition remission and I needed help putting myself through school again. But at the time, you couldn't be in law school and have a full-time job. So I had to forego law school and I got my MBA instead. Working at Regent is where I met the congressman that I ended up working for as the district director. And that's when I met you. I did that for years. And then after doing that, went on to work for the Hampton Roads Economic Development Alliance. I was a senior vice president there, brought jobs to this region. Then I started my own business, KENDRICK Consulting Group, and then went to Washington, D.C. to work at the Peace Corps for 3 years. Came back because the pandemic, it was like, why would I pay all this rent in Washington when I have a house in Norfolk? So I came on back, saved money, worked through the pandemic, stayed here. And now I work for an amazing ministry that builds churches all over the world. I take who want to help with building the orphanages and help them to go overseas to see the work that they've done. So I was minding my own business, Henderson, when I sold my house, moved to Virginia Beach in 2022. Got a call, got several calls. Hey, there's an opening on the school board. Do you want to put your hat in the ring to be appointed? And I was like, nope, I'm good. I don't have anything to do with politics. I like what I'm doing. And so people kept calling me, and I said, okay, God, is this you? And so I said, okay, I'll put that. I get picked, and I got picked. So I've been on the school board now for 6 months. It's been awesome. I first voted in 2022, Henderson at BF1. When I set foot in that school at when I was working for the congressman, I was constantly given tours of all of our schools in the division. These schools had them lead certified, beautiful edifices of schools. And I thought, oh my gosh, Virginia Beach public schools, gorgeous schools. Then I sat back at plans. I'm like, wait a minute, this don't look like the rest of Virginia Beach. What's going on here? So I remember in 2022 and leave upset because I didn't think it was right that, you know, District 4 is closest to Norfolk, furthest from the ocean front. Why does this district not look like the rest of Virginia Beach? So anyhow, immediately I thought of B.F. Williams when I was asked to be appointed. And that's been my mission from day one, to ensure that B.F. Williams gets new
excuse me for a moment because I'm having a distortion on your conversation and I wanted to be clear.
Oh, no.
So let me switch from this because it might sometimes it's a bad connection somewhere along the way, and when you're talking it's breaking up. So what I'm going to do is call you back on your phone.
Oh no.
Yes.
Does it stop when I pause?
Yes, it's like a feedback somewhere, and I don't know if it's on your end or my end, but I know you're talking, but I don't see any indications of how I can change it other than put you on the phone personally and put a picture up while we're talking.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh,
Unfortunate.
you see. Are you on your phone talking? Or your computer?
But I do have cell phones are nearby. Maybe I should just move them away. I'm gonna mute my mic. When I mute my mic, tell me if you still hear the feedback.
Okay. No, I don't hear it now.
Okay, let me move my cell phones away from my computer. Maybe that's what's giving the frequency.
Yeah.
Frequency.
Yeah.
Okay. Put them on airplane mode. Okay. All right. I'll move in my phones.
Okay.
You still here?
Not as much. Talk a little bit more so I can adjust it. I'm trying.
Okay, testing, testing, testing.
It sounds clear now. So.
Okay. It was my phone's giving feedback.
Oh, okay. It was, you know, you could have probably turned your volume down on the phone. If you're not on the phone talking, you can turn it down.
I wasn't on the phone. So it's just sometimes, phones have frequencies and they be listening to us. I'll be talking and the next thing you know, I see an ad about what I was talking about.
Yeah. You're right about that. You ain't got to tell me.
Yeah, so sorry about that. So Betty F. Williams was definitely on my heart from the moment I jumped in to getting involved with the school board. I knew I needed to make an impact, if nothing else, for District 4, for the Tri-Campus. I then learned about Bayside 6 Great Campus. That building is also needing to be shut down. And in fact, since I've been on the board, that's something that we've decided to do. This is the last year that those kids will be attending the Bayside 6 Great Campus on Jericho Road. They're not going to have to go back to that. So, just practical solutions. Being on the board, I have an MBA. As I said, I'm a business owner. I've worked in high levels of government. I'm now the vice chair of the African American Advisory Board for the Commonwealth of Virginia, and I am the chair of the legislative committee on the school board. So I am in position to continue the work that I started, and I will finish it. I just need these last 2 years of this term to see it through. I need the district to give me a chance to do it because my track record, Henderson. When I worked for the congressman, I got CTAC recognized in the Library of Congress.
Wow.
Miss Sadie Shaw was recognized. Worked with George Mins to get that done. Done work with the NAACP. I've been on the board of the Urban League. I became a link and AKA, all while working for the congressman. So this community knows who I am. And unfortunately, my opponent is going around trying to scare the community from supporting me because I'm not endorsed by the Democrats. This is not a partisan scene.
Right.
And the school board shouldn't even be about politics. Right. But unfortunately, my opponent is making everything political, and that's the problem that's been on the school board. And since I've been on the school board, we're all working well together. We're getting things done. We have a good time. I love each and every one of my colleagues. They are all incredible professionals. They do a wonderful job. They have a true heart for Virginia Beach, and I do enjoy working with them. We have a good time. It's great since I've been on the board.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I don't do politics. Because see, like when I used to be president and general manager of a gospel station, and I had a meeting with a client, and it was another client there at the time, and we was we both was trying to get the contract for the advertisement for I think it was the whining show. And
yes,
to bring it in at the time at Chrysler Hall, and the lady was like, "Well, blah blah blah. You don't know nothing about radio. You don't know nothing about advertising." I said, "You're right. I don't. I'm from the streets. I'm from the streets. Meaning that business go out the window with politics. I mean, professionals go out the street when I got one thing in mind: what I'm doing for my community."
That's right.
And when people want to engage with overpricing people or doing this or taking something away from my community, I'm taking the gloves off.
Yeah,
I can talk. I done been to all type of training. I keep trying to explain to people. I might, as we used to say in old school, I might act stupid, but I'm a long ways from being dumb. So when I come in, it's about what I stand for. It's about kids. It's about the community. It's about doing what's right by the law within the reason of law. And I don't get into politics and threats. My job is one concern. If I say I'm working for this, I'm working for that. And we don't have to go around and, I mean, I understand what you're going through because I done been through it. I still go through it today. And
Yeah.
when you constantly try to get people to understand it's about the future generation.
Yep.
You know, if we do not have we don't train and educate our young people about the violence is going to bring and create mental health issues because you're bringing on something that you're not accustomed to. You're not accustomed to walk around carrying a gun. You're not accustomed. That becomes from bullying and all these aspects that we sit back and saying, hey, wait a minute, why can't we just figure out how to prevent our young people from hurting themselves as well as others? You know, and that's what, why I had to bring you on the show to let people know. I wasn't aware of what your opponent is doing, but I know that you have been dedicated and doing work, and you always get the job done because
Yes,
that's
I
why
do.
I follow people. I may not talk to you all the time. I may not text you, hey, how you doing? Because I know everybody got a life but me. But
You have a
I,
life too.
yeah, I stay focused on what areas that you are trying to accomplish. And if you're accomplishing something for the youth, why is it that people don't understand? And some people have been on school boards or on city council, and they still pitching the same pitch that you've been on there 7, 8 years. And now somebody come in with a fresh way, a better approach, and have recognition in the community, and you want to try to do something other than, hey, maybe it's their time now. It's their time now. It's your time. So when people don't understand, to me, I'm spiritual. So when God should anoint somebody to do something, that's God's will. So when people around here bashing, like I try to me, that shows the character of you. And when you are doing things and you're getting things done, you're getting things approved, isn't that the reason? That's the purpose of the job.
Yeah. Impact,
you know
execution. I don't mince, I don't waste time. I don't see, for me, it's about servant leadership. I don't need to be pumped up. I don't need to earn another accolade. I've been top 40 under 40 woman of distinction. I've been recognized by the Virginia Leadership Institute. I have so many accolades and accomplishments. It's not even about that for me. I'm not pursuing any of that. What
Thank
it's
you.
about for me is making an impact, making a difference. And if I'm in a sphere of influence and I have the ability to move power systems in order to make things right and equal and level, then that's what I believe God has put me in position to do. I have connections on both sides of the aisle. I have relationships from Washington, D.C. to the state, to the local government. I'm known in this region. I could pick up the phone and I could speak to a member of the state delegation or someone in Washington. Our senators know me. Our representatives, our congressional representatives know me and have worked with me, respect me. I do the same for them. If I can do something to make an impact for people who need it, I will do it. And I don't have to, but I want to, because it's not like, okay, so personally, I don't have children. I'm not married. I don't even have a dog. I have a pet fish. So I'm not, I live in a good place. I'm happy with my life. Okay. I'm not trying to pursue or accomplish anything for myself. To me, I feel like God has given me everything I could ever possibly want and need. All I want to do is give back. I've always been a person to give back. My mom and dad will tell you, when I was a little girl, that's when they were still together. They divorced when I was 6. But when I was little, my parents couldn't keep toys for me because I always wrapped my toys in Christmas paper and left them at the doorstep of my little friend's house. I always gave away my toys. Ever
Okay.
since I was a little kid, I've always done that. I've always had clubs. I was just a strange kid. I was not a normal kid. I was always cooking, having clubs, and giving my toys away.
Right.
I was riding my bikes, racing the boys. I always was competing with the boys, and my bike was always the fastest bike. Okay. But, I just have always been people focused. I've always wanted to make a difference. I've always wanted to make an impact. I don't need credit. So the Hampton Roads Black Caucus was an organization I started in 2012 with people on both sides of the aisle. The first day that we opened in September, we had, at the Holiday Inn Road, had over 200 people there. State senators, state delegates, local level officials in all 7 cities of Hampton Roads. It was beautiful. I hope that some people will go on the Hampton Roads Black Caucus website and look at those pictures that are posted there. You'll see Oberdorf, you'll see Bill Whitehorse, you'll see just people from all walks of life in one room. The chair of the Beach Democrat Committee, the chair of the Republican Committee. I mean, everybody was together because everybody needs to come together to help advance the Black community. I don't feel that the Black community has the luxury to rely on one political party to advance our causes. Our causes are too great. The struggle is too real. And we need our people in positions of power, every day decisions are being made to advance the causes of our community. So if people can't figure that out, I hope they can catch up, because every other community in this nation gets it. They have representation on both sides of the aisle. Why is it a problem when we do?
Right.
It shouldn't be a problem. We need power. We need access. And so I created Hampton Roads Black Caucus to bring the elected officials to the community and bring the community to the elected officials so that they have an opportunity to talk directly to the mayor and tell them, hey, this is where I live. This is what we're dealing with. This is what you're supposed to do for us. Because we hire the people. We hire elected officials. They're supposed to serve us. It's supposed to be servant leadership, not the other way around. We don't serve a party. We don't serve politicians. Parties and politicians are supposed to serve the people because we're paying them with our tax dollars.
Right.
We're electing them. We need to hold them accountable. And I'm accessible. I'm always in the community. When I worked for the congressman, where was I, Henderson? In the community, everywhere. Everywhere. And that's where I am now. I meet our pastors, I mean, our community leaders in schools. I'm listening. Everyone has my email. People reach out to me. I go to work for them. Usually if there's someone with a problem, Virginia Beach City Public Schools, they reached out to me. I usually can get it resolved within 48 hours, if not sooner. That's my 6 years of experience doing constituent services for over 700,000 people in a district. That's what I did. I ran the Virginia Beach office. We had an Eastern Shore office, and we had an office in Hampton. I ran all those offices. I was the congressional representative for my congressman for 6 years. That's how people know me. That's how people know what I could do. So I wish the best for my opponent. I'm not going to disparage her, but I think she's doing people a disservice by going around lying about me and trying to fearmonger people to just reduce down to nothing more than, oh, vote for me because I'm a Democrat. It's just, well, yesterday, what she did, I have volunteers working for me at all the polls. She called my volunteers, Henderson, and tried to get them to stop supporting me and to support her because she's a Democrat. Who with any level of decency, who is vying to be someone who's governing the school board, why would you think it would be would it ever be appropriate for you to go to your opponent's volunteers and accost them and diminish the person that they're working for to try to get them to support you? That is the kind of person that I run against. I've had people come to me, tell me that they've worked with her in this division. She saw to it that they've been fired, blacklisted, and these are people from our community, sisters, who have lost their careers behind my opponent. Okay, people have come to me asking me to run hard, donated to my campaign because of the experience that they've had with her, who seems to me to be a mean girl. We don't need that type of, we don't need this kind of, this is not what we need in the school division. We need somebody who can work with people, who serve the people, who's not partisan. I'm not running on a party ticket. I'm not trying to say, vote for me, I'm for this party. It has nothing to do with the party. I'm saying vote for me so I could finish the work that I started. And if we want to talk about party, let's talk about it. The Virginia Beach School Board has been ran by the majority of Democrats for the last 10 years. District 4, what have they done for you? District 4, are you satisfied with how things are right now? If it's all about Democrat versus Republican, do you feel happy with how things have been for the last 10 years in District 4? No, that's not what I'm hearing. That's not what the parents are telling me. So let's put this partisanship aside. Furthermore, the way that the race is going and the way that it's already set up, Henderson, this race, it's definitely going to be a Republican majority on the school board going forward. It's best for District 4 to at least have someone who could work on both sides of the aisle advocating for their needs, because I can do that. And I have built consensus and relationships with every person on that board. And I know how to align our initiatives with others to get them to want to support what I'm trying to do for District 4. And so I'm so excited about the prospect of me continuing on. This is a special election. It's normally a 4-year term, but I came in after the first 1 year and a half because the person in the seat before had to step down. So if I'm reelected, I'll just have 2 more years to finish the work that I started. I want to keep my foot on their neck to make sure that what we're starting for Betty F. Williams gets finished. I want to make sure that we bring some remedies to Renaissance Academy. There's too many of our kids who go there. They go there for one reason, Henderson, and they have to have the perfect attendance, perfect grades, perfect behavior in order to get to go back to their school. So if they had been sent there for, say, behavioral reasons, you go there for one reason, but it takes 3 to get out, there's something wrong with that. So I want to help to bring some sort of, the teachers and the administration that works at that school, they're not able to weigh in on the decision to help these kids get back to their school. They want the kids to go back to their school. We've got some great people working at Renaissance, but there's just some ways that it's set up to where our kids, unfortunately, can get trapped and stuck at Renaissance Academy. They need to go back to their schools so that they can have a full experience, be able to graduate with their peers, be able to do, hey, they messed up, but they fixed it. And now let's get a fresh start. Let them be reconciled with their school, and they can go forward and be great. And that's all I want for our kids. I want our kids to be great. We're in a globally competitive society now, to where when our kids graduate from high school, they're going to be competing with the rest of the world for jobs. The rest of the world. So we have to make sure that our kids get the opportunity, a real opportunity, to, once they graduate, if they want to work in trades, they can work in trades. Listen, I put myself through school and I graduated. By the time I had my master's degree, I had over $200,000 in student loan debt because I didn't have help from my parents to help me. I did it myself. I know what it's like to be saddled with school debt. It isn't fun. I worked my tail off, always working 2 jobs, While I was working for the congressman, I was also a professor of business at ITT Tech for 3 years. I loved doing that, but I'm hustling trying to pay these bills too. But I don't want our kids to have to do that. It would be great to be able to graduate from high school. You got the skill sets to be able to go straight into masonry or welding or auto mechanic or something to where you got a tangible skill to where no matter what happens with the economy, you're going to make money no matter what. That's what I want our kids to have the option. Make money, 60,000, 70,000, 80,000 a year out the gate. Then when you're ready and you want to go to 4-year college or 2-year college, you can. You'll feel more settled. You'll feel more, stable. And you might have a better idea of what you want to master in or what you want to get a degree in. A lot of kids, when they graduate from high school, they might not exactly know what they want to do once they leave because they're still discovering themselves, their gifts, their talents, their abilities. I changed my major 3 times in college, 3 times, from education to communications and then finally government pre-law. So anyway, I'm just really trying to help our kids have the opportunities to where they could be successful once they graduate. I don't care about being a politician. I don't care about having another title. I don't care about having a position. I don't care about any of that. It's not about that for me. I'm here. While I'm here, I see that work needs to be done. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to get it done. I've always got it done. And I'm going to continue to do that. Because our district needs it. Our district needs a champion. So I want to do this. And after these 2 years, y'all do whatever you want to do. But since I'm here and I'm willing and I'm ready and I'm able, I'm rolling up my sleeves, I'm going to get it done. And then the next thing I want to tackle is the African American Cultural Center in District 4 too. I started on the board of that when that first began. And I'm just, I wish it was up now. I think it's been over 10 years since that started. There you go. Oh my gosh, there we are. There it is. Yes. So that's me on the far right or left behind Bruce. God rest his soul. He's no longer with us, but this is how we began. And I want to get back onto this work and I want to help get this done because we can. You're on mute. You're on mute, Henderson.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. What happened is that this is what I'm saying is I used to stay in that area before I moved where I am now. Mm-hmm. I was in that district almost 20 years, over 20 years. And when, and a lot of people come to me like, well, I want you to take over the president of the Lake Edwards Civic League. And I'm like, I'm too busy. I got my hands full. I can't really do it because I'm operating a large business that is family owned, and you got to keep your hands on the pulse because of all the laws and stuff you have to, the regulations that people don't know when they open up a restaurant or a nightclub, all these external people you have to deal with. Like you were saying, you have to be able to work with the people that you're with to get results. And if you take your foot off the gas, then everything slows down. Right. And like you said, you and Bruce was there in the beginning, and it's been like going on 7, 8 years, and it's
been too long. And I want to get back in there and try to help make that happen. I have connections in Washington and Richmond. We can get our hands on some funds and some money to get it built. Again, building consensus, helping our vision become other people's vision to where they want to be a part of this great thing that we're trying to do. Right. You got to have the ability to lobby and to talk with people, connect with people, and to get people excited about being a part of what you're trying to do. Right. And I've done that all of my career. And I'd like to get back to doing that again, but I'm bumping again, unfortunately, when it comes to that, I'm bumping up against stupid political conversations again. Yeah. So I'll try to work on that when people come back to their senses, but I'm not gonna beat my knuckles against the wall.
Right.
I have a fight to fight, and I don't have time to be beaten against the wall behind dumb stuff. So we'll see what I could do later on that when political silly season is over. But my priorities for being on the school board: workforce readiness, academic excellence. Our kids need to be reading on grade level. I sit on the board of the Virginia Enrichment Center, where we work to get kids on grade level by third grade, the mentorship program for Title I schools. So I've been on that board working there, and that was before I joined the school board. Again, it's just a passion of mine to help make an impact in that area. Of course, improving infrastructure. We got 86 projects in Virginia Beach that need to be tackled. I want to try to make sure that we prioritize these District 4 projects because we're in bad shape with some of these schools. Equitable discipline. Parents have been telling me, you know, I worry that my kids are unfairly judged sometimes and sent to Renaissance or sent away or expelled or whatever because they had a bad day or they got in an argument with someone or, you know. So anyway, I want to try to do what I can to help make sure that, you know, we provide some resources to reduce disciplinary occurrences for our kids. Also, teacher retention. Our teachers have the hardest job in the country, okay?
Hello.
Our teachers go through so much, give so much. They're never paid enough. I'm sorry, they're just never paid enough. Have you ever watched, like somehow I found some TikToks of teachers who just share their experience. I mean, some teachers handshaking, losing hair, PTSD. They're constantly in fight or flight mode when they go to work. All that they sacrifice to set up their classrooms, the administrative burdens, the certifications they have to constantly get. I mean, it's just a lot that our teachers endure these days. So I want to make sure that we pay them well, that it's more rewarding for them. They have less administrative burden. I just want to be an ear to the teachers and help, you know, do what I can to make their jobs easier because we need them. We need them so much. If back to being globally competitive, we need our teachers now more than ever, especially coming after a pandemic. We need our teachers. They're the most, to me, next to after the veterans and the people who defend our country and our doctors, teachers are right up there with them. So I love our teachers. And also community accessibility. I always want to be accessible to the community. I always want to listen. I always want to be available to serve. Whatever I could do, I want to do it. And then leadership and civility. The school board, before I got on the school board, they weren't getting along. It was a mess. Go back and watch some of those live school board sessions from years ago. It was a mess. But since I've been on the board, we're getting along. We're working together. It's been good. Like I said, I respect each and every one of my colleagues on the school board. I love what they bring to the board. Everybody contributes something incredible to the work that we do. So I love each and every one of my colleagues. Sometimes they get a little political and do little political theater here and there, but I just ignore it because I know their hearts. They got good hearts. So, but anyway, ShannonKendrickVB.com is my website for anybody that wants to visit and learn more about me.
Yeah. It's like I said, is you everything that you're saying is what every person that's in that position should be doing, looking forward to. I used to stay, like I said, I stayed in that area for years, and I was always trying to do something for the kids in school because my kids were there. When my, you know, wherever, you know, in the neighborhood, you know, I keep telling people I got receipts for what I do. Like I keep telling people, I don't just take pictures because you see me out. Those are my receipts. I mean, I got kids that, you know, I hit them in parades, you know, and stuff. And we did activities. We, you know, gave them parties or something at the skating arena. You know, I had my son, when he had his birthday party, I invited a bunch of people. You know, when I used to give But people was always telling me, you're trying to bribe the community.
Oh my gosh. Sounds to me like you're just meeting people where they are and you're, trying to make people's lives better.
Yeah, I mean, I used to
have a good time.
Yeah, I used to go to the I mean, because I'm not, like I keep telling people, I don't like a fan of hoorah, hooray, you doing this and doing that. I don't do that. The Bible says you do stuff in secret.
And
I would go to the rental offices and say, do you have any, the people that have kids out here, if they got good grades, I will give them, buy passes. I will go and buy passes that take a whole, if you got a family of 4, give you passes and give you money for refreshments for 4, and do that every week, every month, because everybody can't afford to take 4 or 5 kids to the movies on their salary, and it gives them a chance to get out of the house. Give them trips to Busch Gardens or King's Dominion, and they say you're bribing. The news media came and did an interview saying, well, we got that you're trying to bribe the community and because he was trying to close the club. And like I tell people, you can't close nothing that God gives somebody.
Right.
I was there for 14 years. 14 years, they tried to close the club. And like I try to explain to people, it's not about me. You got to understand it's like when I went to your website, this is what I saw. Now, I don't know about your component or anything, somebody who's running for the same seat, but where are the pictures at? This is what you see on your page. So where are their receipts? If they don't have no receipts, what are you doing? Where are you? Where are you in the picture? You got to see, the thing is, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't keep going down the same road and getting the same results. But you want the seat back.
She has pictures with politicians. She has pictures with
politicians.
It's all about politics.
I got all kind of
people for me. It's about the people. I don't care about endorsements from politicians. I have a few, but there's more that I've not even mentioned. But it's about those babies right there. It's about that. It's about that principal and helping him to get his school where he needs it. It's a Title I school, and teachers, after you work at a Title I school for 3 years, you get a certification, and that's hurting that school because he works to build up that program, and then the teachers get the certification, and then they leave. So I want to work with our state delegation about expanding from 3 years to 5 years. And so that way you have a good chance of building a good, strong program, and you can keep the continuity because you have the institutional knowledge still there versus every 3 years having turnover. It's hard to build a sustainable program for our kids when you're constantly enduring change. We need to provide more incentives for teachers to teach at Title I schools. And, because that's only going to help our community. And so it's a win-win for everybody. And I'm always looking to find that win-win for everyone. So, but thank you for showing those pictures. I hope that people find my Facebook page on Shannon Kendrick for School Board District 4. And I hope that people go to my website, shannonkendrickvb.com. I really hope that people will set politics aside and truly look at who's doing the work. Who is in the community, who is on the ground, who's listening, who's serving, who's fighting, who's championing. I have a few links on my website where you can see me speaking at the school board meeting about my district, about the tri-campus and the families, and why it doesn't make sense that our kids have to go to 5 schools before they ever get to high school. 5. Diamond Springs Elementary, Newtown Elementary, Betty F. Williams, Bayside 6, Bayside Middle, and then Bayside High or Princess Anne High.
Right.
What? And parents who have children of different ages, can you imagine what they go through every morning, getting their kids off to school and picking them up? Like, how can you how are you even able to have good job opportunities when it's like you have to choose. Do I help make sure my kids get to and from school, or do it? You got to take whatever job works around your children, getting them off. So anyway, parents have spoken. I am working. Community leaders have spoken. I am working. Principals have spoken. I am working. I'm working.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
Right. It's somebody got to do the work. See, the thing is, when people ask for a position, some of them just want the position, but they ain't going to do the work.
Right.
You are doing the work. Because like I said, I study every person I talk to. When it comes to politics, you know, your energy is going to tell me what you're doing. The way you speak is going to tell me. I ain't even got to see you. I just got to listen to you. That's why when people's like, why are you so quiet? Because if I'm talking, how can I listen? How can I learn anything if I'm going to do it? I ain't talking. Yeah. Because it's important to listen, because you show your compassion by the way you speak.
Yeah.
And the Bible said, those that have an ear, let them hear. So if a person is sincere about doing something, you know, you just got to do it. You can't sit around and talk about it 8 years later.
Hear my heart. I hope people hear my heart. I didn't look for this seat. I wasn't trying to be a politician. I wasn't trying to do any of this. Right. I wasn't. But I got appointed to this role. I've been doing it for 6 months. And now that I'm here, I want to finish the job. After this term is over, do whatever you want. But I cannot sit idly by knowing what I know now.
Right.
And not make a difference. I have got to finish what I started. All I need is the rest of this term. Y'all can do whatever you want after this. But if you give me a chance to finish the term, I will get this done for you. I will be your champion. I will do this. I will be available. I will fight for you. It doesn't pay me nothing to do it. I'm not doing it for no title. It's not even about that. I can care about, ooh, she the school board member. People think I should be a seat, like delegate or something. If it was about politics, I would have ran for office a long time ago. I could have been done run for office. I don't care about that. What I want to do is uplift my community. What I want to do is make the schools. I want to bring from the background to the forefront is what I want to do. And District 4, closest to Norfolk, on the border of Norfolk, has been in the background for far too long. And it's time to shine, baby, shine. And I'm going to bring the resources and the support to get our district on the same level playing field as the rest of this city. I can do it. I will do it. And guess what? There's people on that school board that want to help me do it. Hello. There's people in that city council that want to help me do it. There's people in the state government that want to help me do it. And there's people at the federal level that want to help me do it. And the thing is, the school board, we don't raise our own revenue. Our revenue is dependent upon what the city gives us, what the state gives us, and what the federal government gives us. So if you got somebody in this position that knows how to work along all those lines, I've been doing government for 20 plus years. I ran a school of government. My degree is in government. I've made policy on a national level, state. I've done all that. And I sit as a vice chair for the African American Advisory Board for the entire Commonwealth of Virginia. Wow. I'm not saying all this to brag. I'm saying God has put me in position to put District 4 in position. So let me do this for you. That's it. After 2026, do what you want to do. But while I'm here, I got to do this. It's a burden. It's a burden, Anderson, on my carrying. I have got to do this for y'all, for us. I got to do it.
Well, that's the same sentiment I have. You know, like I keep telling people, I'm 73 years old. I mean, you know,
what?
You know,
you ain't no 73.
yeah. You know, hey, it gets that way. But
that's what's up.
When God give you, like I said, when God, you know, lay things upon your heart, it's to finish the job. Somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
Kids are dying. And my phrase is kids are dying and some mothers ain't crying. So who's gonna watch out for the kids? You know, they got it's three generations in this state alone. In this state, there's 3 generations of Black and brown men in prison.
Yeah.
You got the father, the grandfather, and the son at the same time. I mean, what part they don't understand? And
well,
as I spoke to Bobby Scott,
and they're building prisons based on how kids are reading at 3rd grade.
Well, no, that's what Bobby Scott told me. He said
kids are on 3rd grade. That's how they're determining whether they're building prisons. And so I'm at the forefront working with the Virginia Enrichment Center try to stop that at the beginning. Right. So I'm real about this. I'm real about my community.
Right.
It isn't about politics or being in position so that I could puff out my chest. I live this. I care about my community. Right. And I'm making an impact, school board or not. I do this is what I'm trying to convey. I do this. So
I feel that conviction. I hear that conviction.
Criminal justice reform. I've worked on that, still working on that. It's a lot that I'm doing. So there's a lot of people on District 4 who might not know me or know about me, but I hope that y'all watch this and you know me. Google me or something, but if nothing else, see my heart.
Yeah, they will know you. I mean, because like I said, that's part of my job is getting information out to the public. And like I said, with you, when you talk about all the things you have accomplished, and you know, you'll say I'm 70, I say I'm 73, and I'm looking at you, and you looking like you about 25, and you saying I did this and I did that, and I'm like,
I'm 45 years old, 45.
Oh wow! I mean, you're still young for your age, but looking at you, the motivation that you got, and the conviction that you have, I mean, it's just that I can't, like I tell people, I don't listen to that rhetoric of other people. It's just when people hear your voice or meet you, they ain't gonna find out what somebody else is saying. Everybody else is trying to say something to get in a seat.
Yeah.
You know, and like I keep telling people, you know, when the enemy is real, and if you don't believe that the enemy is real, just try to do something that God wants you to do. And you will see how much attack you'll come under, how much people will say. But the bottom line is, again, that's why you got to have receipts. That's why you got to really, you really got to have the pictures. You really got to have something that said, well, when did she start doing that? When people said she wasn't doing anything. When did she do that?
Definitely coming. I'm getting attacked left and right from all sorts of Democrat operatives who, you know, have nothing else better to do than to play politics.
Well,
and let them talk, let them attack. They can talk, they can attack. I'm keeping my campaign above bar, like Michelle Obama says, when they go low, we go high. Wow. And that's what I've always done. I will always keep it classy.
I always tell them the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get appointed to position. What you do get you appointed to positions. What you do and the work that you have already accomplished, as in the old gospel song, may the work I've done speak for me. Your work speaks for you.
Yeah.
And when somebody else come along, if you have already been on school board and you're trying to go back, why? You ain't do nothing when you was there. So you want to ride another term? That ain't making sense to me. Like I keep telling people.
She was in the school division.
Huh?
For 17 years.
Come on, man. No, don't say that.
I'm not going to take this time to talk about my opponent, but what I will say is I've been appointed to several positions. I've been to the Urban League of Hampton Roads. I served on board there. I've served on the Virginia Science Aquarium Marine Center. I was on board. I've been on global commerce boards, Norfolk Sister Cities, Virginia Beach Sister Cities, Tidewater Boy Scouts of America. I mean, I've been on so many boards in Hampton Roads because I do the work. I love to work, and people know that I'm an executor.
Yeah.
Top 40 and 40, like I said. I've just done a lot of things. I'm looking off now at some of the things I have up, you know, remembering my life. It's just, I'm so grateful to God that He would use these hands to try to make an impact in the lives of others. And I want to leave this earth knowing that I served, I made a difference, I made an impact, and I want to keep serving until I can't serve no more. Because we don't know how long we're going to be here.
Right.
No one's promised tomorrow. I mean, I might not even, I mean, who knows? But while I was here, I made my life count. So that's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's the key. And I'm so appreciative of you giving me the opportunity to speak with you today. And, you know, before the campaign end, I bring you back again, and a couple other things I'll, you know, talk to you about when we'll finish. But the accomplishments that you have already shown, this is what young people need to see. They need to see people that are dedicated, because when you talk to young people, they'll know if you're honest or not. You can't fool kids. You cannot fool them.
Yep.
So when I like I said, I've been knowing you ever since when you was, you know, when I first met you years ago, and I'm like, man, this girl's great, you know. And you know, I've been following your career, and like you over in Africa, or you in India, you know, you've been all these places, and people been sitting here for 16 or 17 years, and you haven't moved from accomplish anything when it comes to that district. I stayed in that district. I'm talking to the people in the community. I'm talking to kids. I'm talking to the adults and people that with college degrees, and like, hey, I'm volunteering and going out to Betty F. Williams or to Bayside, you know, middle school, and all this, and they in a wheelchair.
Wow.
Wheelchair. Right? You know, this lady got a master's degree in hairstyle. And she used to tell me the things that I'm like, what? She said, yeah, you just, you know. And when my son was going there, he was being bullied. And I had to go out there to Bayside Middle and talk to the principal. And the principal told me, I said, I didn't know my, you know. He said, well, I said, you know, because unfortunately, because of medical condition, I had to stop working. And when I was going for my GED and I was explaining to the lady, she said, maybe, would you like to bring your son in for me to talk to him? I said, yeah, you know, she said, sure, I'd like to talk to him. So she said, but you can't be in the room. She was a psychiatrist. And she said, okay. She said, I need to go out there to the school and talk to the principal. She said, can you get permission to do that? I said, well, I'll call him and see. I'll call the principal. Principal told me, say, hey, look, ain't nobody coming out here to talk to none of these teachers out here. I said, oh, really? She said, yeah, they're not. I said, well, let me explain something to you. You said you didn't know my son was being bullied. And you got 4 or 5 assistant principals out here, and nobody knew. So I tell you what, you have a nice day. I'll talk to you later. Because, you know, when it comes to kids, you know, I'm going to war. I got home the next day, called the superintendent. He said, Mr. Bond, let me look into that. I said, the lady said the psychiatrist said she need to come out and talk to his teachers. And the lady said, ain't nobody coming out. He said, well, give me 15 minutes. And as long as I've been in Virginia Beach and try to call anybody about anything when it comes to schools and stuff, because I don't play that stuff. Yeah. So this is the first time the superintendent called me back. He said, Mr. Bond, have that lady go out there and speak to the teachers. And then when I got out there, She talked to 7 teachers
Mm-hmm.
at Bayside Middle at one time. I'm in the room and my wife. And she said, all of us said, I did not know your child was being bullied.
Wow.
You didn't know? You didn't know when you sitting at, when they went to lunch, the girls were picking at him and teasing him. And you had another teacher that, or what do they have, the people that watches over the restaurant, sit there at the table with it. And you said you didn't know?
Wow.
You know, so these are the things when you come along and say, you are doing what you're doing. I already know. I know that you're telling the truth. I know what they go through. And for this going on for 17 or more plus years,
Yeah. Student support services. Yeah.
Huh?
Well, I think our teachers, I do believe they really try hard. And our superintendent, I do believe everyone really tries hard, but some things fall in between the cracks. Some things are missed. We're human. But I want your listeners to have my email address if they ever have an issue with the school system, or their child is dealing with something in the Virginia Beach City public school systems. They can email me and I could look into it and do what I can do to help with that situation, because a lot of things that happen negatively could be stopped if we intervene at the beginning. A lot of the conflicts that our kids get into have to do with bullying. And if we can catch it early on and intervene early on, we can prevent a whole lot of negative results and after effects of poor decisions that just, one fell into the other, So my email address is shannon.kendrick@vbcpsboard.com. And that stands for Virginia Beach City Public Schools Board.com. So shannon.kendrick@vbcpsboard.com. Please reach out to me if there's ever a challenge that you need help with. School board members are in position to represent you, the constituents, the parents, the children. So you're supposed to, the teachers, the principals, you reach out to us. We help you. We govern the school board. We govern the entire school board. So we're your advocates. So you reach out to us, we'll go to work for you.
That's good to know. I mean, people need to know that they have somebody that somebody is listening. And most of the time, that's what parents need to want, somebody to listen and not pass. If my child is doing, I'm like I tell people, how are you going to know what your child doing when you won't even go out there to the school when they have the meetings?
Yeah, come to the school board meetings. Watch the school board meetings live. Come to the school board meetings. It's open to everyone. You could sit, you could listen to hear what's being discussed. You can watch how decisions are being made. I encourage each and every citizen in Virginia Beach to come to those school board meetings. Rather than responding to things, why don't you be there when discussions are happening? Because we always discuss things in one session and then we vote on them in the next session. So you're able to be there at the beginning to hear, comment, and then you could email us and be like, hey, I heard that you guys are discussing this. Here's my thoughts on it. Please consider voting for or against this particular initiative that you're discussing. That's how representative government works. Any and everyone could be involved. And I encourage everybody to be involved. Again, I'm trying to bring power to the people. That's what it's about. At every level of government, bringing power to the people.
I admire you and champion, behind you 100%. If there's anything I can do to help assist you, like I keep telling people, it's not about me. It's about the future generation. I don't know what part you don't understand. I mean, not you, but people don't understand is you got kids, you got grandkids, you got nieces and nephews. What part you do not understand it's their time now. But they can't have a time if nobody's making the way for the paving the way.
Yeah.
And this, you sound like the right person, maybe because you're the person at the right time. You know, God don't make mistakes. You're here at the right moment to make change. And with everything that you says, that's God sent. You know, you're not doing it for ego. You're not doing it for prestige. People don't understand when God sends you to do something, you know, every enemy you got is going to come attacking you. But the thing is,
Okay.
you don't give up. And that's why I always admire your strength, your character, and your personality, you know. And like I've been around, I done been around thousands of people in my DJing experience. Like I tell people, I'm like one of the first Afro Americans in this area that's ever played for all white crowd. And I
Okay.
never once heard the N word. I worked at the Heartbreak Cafe for 8 years. Then after I left, I went back when he opened up. When I called him, I said, "This is why your crowd leaving." And he saw that, you know, he listened to what I was saying and said, "Hey, can you come over to the club this weekend?" And I said, "Yeah, I can stop by when I leave." You know. So when I went by, he goes in and like, "I want to make a announcement that this is the last night for the Heartbreak Cafe. I'm
Wow.
closing it down and I'm changing the name." And I'm like, "Thanks to Captain85." I'm like, "Man,
Whoa.
you trying to get these people mad with me?" You know, you know, I'm like, he didn't tell me he was going to do it. And but what he did is he said, "But I'm reopening it in a week. And we're going to work on it and remodel and everything on the inside. And when I open it back up, I'm going to call it what was it called? Well, I can't remember. Oh, Night Fever." He said, "I'm going to call it Night Fever, and I'm bringing back disco music."
Okay.
And that's what he did. And the week he opened, it was a line out the door. It was so packed. So many people came. It was a line out the door because he used to own Kokomo's too. And I
Okay.
played there for a little bit, you know, but like I keep telling people, it's about everybody was having fun. You know, you go there, everybody was like family. People will go on a trip and they bring me gifts back. Like, "Oh, we went to the Bahamas and my daughter,
Oh.
I told you, but she brought you a bracelet back." I said,
Oh.
"Okay."
I
You know,
love
she's
to
gonna
see
bring
it.
it to you tonight. She comes, but don't tell I told you. You know, everybody was like, "Hey, look, you know, people are like, yo, I'm doing a yacht party. You want to come to the yacht party?"
Okay.
Not me. I ain't falling off no boat, you know. And it was always, you know, I never once out of the 11 to 12 years I worked there, never had a problem with any person other than if something, you know, people would come and take pictures like, "Hey, can I get a picture with you?" You know, and all this. So the thing is with anything, people will paint people into a position of hate, dysfunctioning, and our young people are being treated that way because it's the pipeline to prison. Until you get them to understand that somebody really care about them, because I was in, they call it the pipeline to prison. They took me out of the 3rd grade. I was in there 2 weeks and put me in a special education class. And if it wasn't for my teachers to recognize, you know, the way I work, because I do everything in my head. I don't, you know, I can look at and solve problems before you can figure it out. And that's why I get in trouble with. But what I try to explain to people, if it wasn't for Miss Darden and Miss Overton, I stayed into the special education class until I graduated, until I turned 18. Because when you get 18, you can't go back to school. You can't go to school anymore.
Right.
So I came out at 17, got a job, and started working to help my mom and dad out. And I was working back then. I was only getting paid $1 an hour. But like I keep telling people, there is nothing that I can't figure out or create or accomplish. I've learned how to drive forklifts. I've learned how to drive heavy duty, everything, and design and create stuff just working in warehouses. You know, mathematically, that people like that's impossible for you to get done, and I got it done. I used to unload, and I'll close the program before I go. I used to, when I worked in the warehouse, and the French fries, they used to come into Burger King, all those cases, they come on a frozen container.
Mm-hmm.
And the rail car drops it off. It's 50,000 boxes on a rail car. I started on that position at 7 in the morning, and by 5 in the afternoon, I had already took off 48,000 boxes by
Wow.
myself, with the guy that drive the forklift, So like I keep telling people, it's no rocket science. It's just when you put your mind to it. Our young people have to be engaged with a challenge to say, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Not, sit around and get into gangs and be, teased and bullied, because that's the problem with our young people. They're being bullied, and they don't want to tell people. They rather suffer in silence. But I really appreciate you challenging with all the things that you say you're trying to do. Hey, you got my vote.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And the other 2 people in my house.
I appreciate it. Thank you so very much for the honor.
And then I'll get my son and his wife and my granddaughters. You'll get their votes. So that's like 10 votes. 10
bring
votes.
them out. Bring them out. Bring them out.
And with the other people friends that I do know and have in Virginia Beach, like I keep telling people, it's not what you know. Sometimes it's who you know, and it's just getting the word out. And just to have you speak the way you did, people don't understand what you're trying to do. They don't understand what they're doing to their kids.
Yeah,
that's the key point. And I want you to come back again. It seems like all that static went away when it get close to the end. Unbelievable. I keep telling you, this is the crazy stuff to be going on when people don't want you to get words out. But I'll call you later.
God is in control. I'm not worried about any of this. Whatever the outcome is.
Oh, no.
Whatever the outcome's going to be, it's going to be. But I know that while I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm going to do it well as unto the Lord, and serving the people. Yeah. That's all I can do. And so I'm not worried about how it turns out.
If I
win, I win. If I don't. But I always win because I'm always going to be serving. So
right, no like you're telling me, when you serve God, you already a winner.
That's right.
But people don't understand. Winners don't have to go around and badmouth people. Winners win because that's what God gave you. See, people are mad because they don't have your gifts. See, you have to understand how the game is played. You got gifts. So people don't have those gifts, have your knowledge, your wisdom, your determination. They got to come up with something else. So our community and our young people need you to be on school board. So the parents need to get behind, and when they go down to the polls, they let them know Shannon Kendrick is one I'm voting for. Enough said. I ain't got to hear nothing else. All I know is I already know what you've been doing and what you've been championing in that area. Because like I said, I've been knowing you ever since
2012, 2011.
2011?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, when y'all came to my office trying to bully me.
Oh, I ain't trying to bully you. Did I say? Wait a minute, hold on. Did I say anything?
I'm just kidding.
I know.
Y'all came up like, we about to tell this congressman what to do.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing with people. I'm only going to ask questions. And some of the questions I might ask people may not like. But like I keep trying to explain to anybody.
Respect. We went to work for y'all. We heard you out. We did everything you asked us to do.
Right.
And y'all saw our heart, like, you know what? They care about us. They go toe to toe for us.
Yeah.
And I'm still going toe to toe for us. I will
Right.
always do that. And you don't have to be a part of it. Doesn't matter what political party you work with. It doesn't have to do with politics. It has to do with the people and power.
Right.
People
Yeah.
and power. Point blank, period. People, power, and paper.
Hello.
Okay?
All
So
right.
I'm going to bring power to the people and bring some paper to get some things done.
Hey,
Can't
with
do
those
anything
two,
without resources.
yeah, that's what you need. Without resources, they know that you're limited.
And policy. People,
Right.
power, paper, and policy.
Right. And you're getting all that accomplished.
That's
and
right.
and everybody should take a step back and really look at what's being accomplished. It's for the future generation. You know, it's for the future. So, well, I really appreciate you. Got to get you back again before the election is over. You know,
we'll try, but it's very busy with early.
Oh, I understand. I understand if you can.
If people to go out to vote, you can vote today at 5 satellite locations: Kempsville Library, Central Library, Bayside Rec. Every day from 9 to 5, you can get out there and vote. If you get in line by 5 p.m., you can vote. Even though it might take you a while to get in the building, they'll still let you vote as long as you're in line by 5 p.m. So y'all get out there and please vote for me, Shannon Kendrick. I'm third at on the ballot. There's 3 of us for District 4. I'm at the very bottom. Shannon L. Kendrick. Check the box for your girl. So I can.
All right. Put the thumbs up.
Put the thumbs up. Shannon Kendrick. BB.com.
You know, as they say, when prayers go up, blessings come down.
That's right. And when the devil is messing, here comes your blessing.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Hey, you're a rapper all the time. Thank you so much, Shannon, for coming on and blessing the best of the 757 Community Talk Show. And I will continue to share this. And like I said, I got people that I call and ask, you know, to make sure that they know. And mostly time they do vote for the people that I ask, the candidates. And I will mention this on my radio show as well.
Thank you. I've garnered God has given me a lot of support in places that, you know, people wouldn't think that I'd be getting it, but I've been getting so much support, and people have been sharing with me how they need change, how they need impact, and they believe that I could do it. Okay. And so I'm happy to serve. I'm going to get it done for y'all. So for us, I got to do it. So thank you.
I appreciate it. I really do. And talk to you later.
All right. Take care. God bless y'all. Bye-bye.
God bless you. Well, there you have it. A candidate that's about the people, about the future generation. Our young people need somebody that can get people to listen, and not only get people to listen, but take action. This is what she's talking about, to take action for our future generation. Why are we always waiting until the inevitable happens, or something happens, a kid is locked up or transferred to a school that they don't need to be at? We need to get these solutions and problems solved today, not years later. Once again, thank you so much for listening and being a part of the best of the 757 Community Talk Show. And don't forget to share this with other people in the 757, and most of all, with the people in the community of Virginia Beach. Thank you so much. We'll be watching and waiting.